Hey everyone, welcome back to Playing Quietly. My name is Ryan, and today I am bringing you another Palworld video. Today we're going to be discussing how to add roofs to our buildings to make them look nice and complete. Now, when we add a roof to our building, we could of course just put a set of tiles across the top of it and call it good, but that doesn't really look all that aesthetically pleasing, so let's see if we can't do something a little bit nicer. So as with any of our building projects here, we really want to do a little bit of pre-planning first to decide what we want to have the finished product look like. Now, I thought it would be kind of cool to build a set of Spencer Mansion staircases here. So to do that, we are going to need an uneven set of tiles here. So, as we have an even set of tiles on this wall, it would maybe look a little bit better if we placed them here. So, with that in mind, let's go ahead and throw down our first set of stairs and get the walkway going just so we can see what it's going to look like. And if we don't like it, we haven't gone too far and we can rebuild if needed. So I'm going to start out with a door here just because I think it would be kind of cool and a little bit of an homage to the actual Spencer Mansion staircases. So we're going to throw a door up there for the backing, and then, of course, our triangle structures here and our first set of stairs here. And, of course, finish it off with our first floor tile here. Now, from here, we can see that things are going to get a little bit interesting, and that is going to come into play when we talk about building our roof. We have to have something to put it on so that we can get it up there. So all we really need to do is add a roof tile there. And, of course, over there. And now we can add our stairs. All right, so that is the start here. I think it's looking okay to begin with. And again, remember that because of the way collision works right now, we're not going to be able to add things after we have those staircases already up. So for right now, I like the way this is looking quite a bit. So we're going to go ahead and start laying down some roof tiles for... All right, so here's what we've got so far. I think this is looking pretty good. Again, we're just kind of messing around right now. Let's go ahead and add one more ring around this top floor just to make it a little bit taller. All right, so there we go. We've got that up now. Let's take a look at what it's looking like from the outside. Not looking too shabby. All right, I think that is looking pretty good. So let's go ahead and start planning out the roof. So something that we need to keep in mind is the direction of the slope and the eventual shape the roof is going to take. Now, if we have an uneven set of tiles like we do going this direction, we're going to have a flat top going in the middle of the roof. Whereas if we have an even number of blocks, we are going to be able to have a sharp point at the top. And I think that looks a little bit better. So let's go ahead and build it that way. So starting out, I think something that is very helpful is to build ourselves a platform to stand on. So we'll go ahead and lay that platform down, and we are going to eventually tear this down, but for right now, it's just going to help us reach where we want to go. So we're going to, of course, start by just putting up the side of the building here. So we're going to go like that, add in another wall here, put up our next corner piece. We're going to throw up one more corner piece right on top of there. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. All right, there we go. We see we have our first side up. So let's go ahead and build out a few pieces going this way. All right, so now that we have this built all around, we're going to, of course, do the same thing on this side here. All right, so now let's talk about this next step here. So, now is when you're going to have to make a very important decision on how you want your roof to look. Now, I want mine to have a very clean look from the inside and the outside, so I am eventually going to delete a whole lot of what we are going to be laying down here. However, if you want to keep any kind of structure or something that looks like struts, you're going to need to lay those down before we start laying the roof tiles themselves down, because you're not going to be able to lay them down or put them in afterwards. So let's get started here. We are going to need to add these for each of the beginning pieces. There we go. And we're also going to need to add a back. We probably should have done that first now that I think about it, but that's okay. And when we go and build this side, we'll do it a little more intelligently this time around. Put up all the backs first, and then we'll go and put our triangle pieces back down. All right, there we go. Now we are going to be adding in the roof tiles. So again, we're going to make another choice here. Do we want to use the stone roof tiles, or are we going to be going for the wood roof tiles? I think I'm going to go with the wood, just to see how it looks. And that actually doesn't look too bad. Now, here is the cool part. Once we have this first set built, once we have this first tile down, all we have to do is add a second tile like this, and so on. And same thing is going to be true over here, if I could get out of the way. There we go. And we're just going to work up like that. All right, there we go. So we have our first set done. Let's go and lay down that second set. All right, so we have all of our tiles up. Let's take a look at how that looks. Not too shabby, not too bad, not too bad. Let's take a look at the inside, though. All right, so we are inside now, and I think things are actually looking pretty good in here. But let's go ahead and take out this extra stuff that we put here. All right, so now that we've gone and deleted those pieces that we know that we don't want to have in our building, let's take a look at something quite important. So, if we were to, for example, want to put a wall piece like this, we see that it won't attach. So, it's really important to decide right now whether or not we want to delete this area. It's going to be really important to decide right now whether or not we want to delete these blocks around here. So, for right now, I think we're going to leave them up just in case we want them later. And again, if we take a look, I think it turned out really nice. And there's definitely still going to be some things that we can do with that roof if we decide we want to. All right, guys, so we are back with a somewhat finished product here. However, we have run into a problem. I went a little bit ham with trying to build a large tower at the top here, as you can see. Again, we're integrating some interesting build designs into our roof here. But as we see here, we have run into the problem of our PAL box only reaches up this high. So let's cut away and we're gonna maybe scale this back a little bit. I don't know if it's actually showing up on camera right now, but my frame rate has definitely dipped a tiny bit, and that's probably not a good thing. So we're gonna go ahead and scale this back and maybe make a little bit more practical landing on our roof here. but I was pretty happy with it. So while I was happy with the inside layout, I'm not necessarily digging the tower that we had going here. Ooh, it was a little bit lopsided too. Heck, didn't even notice that, but that's okay. Let's take a look at how things look from the inside. All right, so let's take a look inside here. Again, we have our nice staircase going up here, and we added a second staircase that is going into a kind of loft area. And then we have this nice long staircase here, which is very apropos as I've been playing Final Fantasy VII, and I just got to Shinra Tower. And I don't know how I didn't notice this line before when I was previously building. And we run all the way up here, and we have this. Actually, it doesn't look too bad from the inside, but a little underwhelming outside. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to tear all this down, and we'll be back in a bit. Actually, I had kind of a fun idea here. We are going to create a little bit of mayhem. Let's have a look here. Should be pretty fun. I'm probably going to lose a whole ton of stone doing this, but oh well. And timber. That's a lot of stone coming down. Oh, geez. All right. So now that we've gotten things a little more cleaned up out there, we see we built another staircase over here. And we've got this big open platform here now. So, oh geez, do a little bit more cleaning. There we go. A little bit more. So we have this big open platform, and there's a few different options we could go for from here. So the thing I actually liked the most was this. We are going to go ahead and demolish this. As well as this. I think that looks all right. Do we want to build it one more? Nah, I think we'll be okay. So, what we're going to do from here, we are going to build up a wall. Then we're going to put 2 doors, one on either side. Then we are going to fill in these gaps with... Oh, we already have one over there. And there. But we are going to close this part off here so that we are able to build our roof up on the other side. Like so. If we don't have that wall up, we're not going to be able to reattach this roof here. So we're going to replace that. And there we go. We have this nice landing spot for our flying mount. Or if we wanted to fly in or fly off from the roof. Now, you could add in... Oops. Now, you could add in the roof tiles back up there, which I actually think looks a lot better. But we run into a problem with specifically Jetragon here. He is just a little bit too big to fit comfortably in here. Of course, mounting up on him is going to be fine, and we are going to be able to finagle the landing. But just a little bit clumsy. But you know what? I still think it looks better, so I think we're going to keep it. Alright guys, that is going to do it for our roof building guide. We did go into a little bit more detail than I thought we would. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, a like and a comment. and especially a subscription would greatly be appreciated. We do have some more build guides coming your way in the form of a guide on integrating terrain into your builds, and we're going to be scouting some more interesting locations, so places that might not be as useful as this, but places that are definitely interesting to build. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you guys next time. Have yourselves a good one.